So I am finally back. I've had a couple of weeks off, not gonna lie. I have felt so rubbish. So fingers crossed I can start uploading a bit more better because I know I have missed a few uploads this year. But August wasn't really great for me. But it is now time to discuss our fall and autumn TBR because mine, oh my god, is huge. It is very ambiguous, let's say. I have stacked to this side of me. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So there is 16 books that are just off my bookshelves that I've added to my autumn/fall TBR. So this doesn't include, I can't even speak already. So this doesn't include my Kindle reads. This is all of my physical books that I own right now. And I'm quite excited for this. I mean, most of them are fantasy or romance books, but I'm pretty sure there is like a few, well, maybe a couple of YA and a couple of thrillers in there. We might actually have more because I think I've left a book on my shelf I want to add to this TBR. So give me a second to see if it is on the shelf or in the stacks. So it turned out I had 2 more books that I needed to add to my pile. So yeah, there is a lot to go through. Grab a drink. I have Pepsi Max in this. This has been my favourite thing to drink out of. I absolutely love these cups. And they also help me drink a lot more, considering with my throat still a bit wheezy and still coughing, it helps me stay hydrated. Shall we get started with the first book? Like I said, a lot of this is fantasy, so let's start off that way, and that is The Cruel Prince. I am still getting used to this camera, by the way. So this is the first book on my autumn/fall TBR. So this is the Folk Air series. A lush, dangerous, a dark jewel of a book. Now, I have seen mixed reviews on this book, I'm not going to lie. But there is also some amazing reviews on this series. So I thought this fall, why not give it a star? I have no clue what it's about. Oh, apparently Jude and her sister see their parents murdered in front of them. The fearsome assassin abducts all 3 girls and brings them to a world of fairies. Mocked and tormented for barely being mortal, Jude soon realises that to survive in this treacherous, dangerous world of the royal court, they need to be as cunning and deceitful as Fae themselves. Oh, so it's about fairies, basically. So hopefully this is good because I have, like I said, there's so many that I want to read. This is just one. Fingers crossed I will get round to that. And obviously we had to have a cosy thriller in there. Well, it's not exactly cosy, is it? It's just a thriller book, but the time of the year makes it cosy. And this is The Housemaid's Secret by Freida McFadden. I absolutely love The Housemaid, and this is book 2 in that series. There is going to be quite a lot of series in this where it's books from either the middle, or the last book in a series or so on. But yeah, this is the second book, and it says on the back, it is hard to find an employer who doesn't ask too many questions about my past. So I thank my lucky stars that Douglas Garrick and his wife miraculously gave me a job cleaning their stunning penthouse with views across the city and preparing fancy meals in their shiny kitchen. I can work here for a while and stay quiet until I get what I want. It's almost perfect, but I still haven't met Mrs. Garrick or seen inside the guest bedroom. I'm sure I hear her crying. I notice spots of blood around the neck of her white nightgowns when I'm doing the laundry, and one day I can't help but knock on the door. When it gently swings open, what I see inside changes everything. Douglas Garrick has done wrong. He's going to pay. It's simply a question of how far I'm willing to go. So I'm guessing this is still, is it Millie from the first book? She's obviously the maid for somebody else. And It's not that thick, to be fair. It's like just over 300 pages. It is literally 327 pages, so that will be a quick read. And then obviously, because it's full time, we gotta have a cutesy book, which again is I have no idea. It said, could be the perfect boyfriend. Could the perfect boyfriend only be a wish away? And this is Every Wish Way by Shannon Bright. Isa's love life is a disaster. Da, 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 da. She's tired of dating the wrong men. She longs to live for a nice, dependable partner to build a future with. So basically, it's just about this girl's wish. It's apparently an unmissable enemies to lovers romantic comedy with a magical twist that will have you completely falling under a spell. It's perfect for fans of Erin Sterling and Tessa Bailey. A sparkling cocktail of humour and heart. This is for anyone who's ever dreamed of finding Mr. Right and settled for Mr. Right now. So, I absolutely love an enemies to lovers, so this should be right up my street. And hopefully I enjoyed the writing. I love like rom-coms and stuff like that, so this might be good. And like I said, I'm getting into fantasy. I have read some great ones recently, and maybe this magical element will help me even more. Book number 4 is the one and only Belladonna. This has been on my shelf for a few months now, and I've been wanting to get round to it. I have seen it blow up on BookTok, and I've seen quite a few people reading it, obviously on BookTube. And so this is about, is it Sagina? Sagina, I think. She was orphaned as a child, and she gets passed about to and fro to these guardians, but they're only ever interested in her wealth. And then something happens. Da 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 da. This is apparently a thorn grove and estate, both glittering and gloomy, could be in danger when a restless spirit appears claiming she was poisoned. And Signa wants to try and uncover the murder, which sounds pretty cool. It says on the back, your name is no curse, little bird. I just like the taste of it. Okay. Deliciously Deadly at the top, and that is by Stephanie Garber. I absolutely loved the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. That was so good. I love the cover of this. It does seem quite thick, but it is just over 400 pages, so it's not too bad. I don't think I have many really big books, like 500 page plus books on this TBR, because I just like quick snappy books at the minute, even though I have read a few big ones in August. And you would have seen that if you watched my August reading wrap up. This book still has a sticker on it. Oh my god, these stickers are so hard to get off. So the next book I want to read is Filthy Rich Vampire by Geneva Lee. This is a first book in a series. The Works have the complete series for £3 for £6. Obviously there's 4 in the series, so you could get 2 different books to complete your collection. And this is, I literally have no clue what it's about, apart from obviously Filthy Rich Vampire. But I was drawn to the covers. The beautiful colour on there is brilliant. And it says, I'm yours, all of me, my body, my blood. You can have both, you can have everything. Julian has a problem. He's single, and for the world's wealthiest vampires, the social season is about to begin. Julian would rather stake himself than participate in a marriage market. But as the eldest, most eligible, I can't even pronounce his last name, he is expected to find a wife before the season ends, whether he likes it or not. When Celeste, Celeste? I can't even pronounce that one either. Thea literally stumbles into his life at a gala. He knows she's the last person he could ever fall in love with. She's too innocent, too kind, and way too human. But now that she knows this world, she is also a walking target. She needs protection. He needs a fake girlfriend to discourage overzealous vampires matchmaking. So this is obviously got fake dating in. Absolutely love that. Da, da, da. So Julian makes, oh, it's Thea. So Julian makes Thea an interesting offer, pretend to be his lover, and he'll change her life. For 1 year, they'll attend the season's social events together in exchange for his protection and a way out of their mother's crippling medical debt. Well, her mother's medical debt. But with each moment they share, new dangers emerge, a desire as forbidden as their stolen touches, and awakening for a long dead heart, the secret that could tear them both apart. So obviously this is fake dating. She's got a reason to fake date this man as she wants to pay her mum's medical bills, but they obviously share these little romantic moments that they're not supposed to share because, well, it's all supposed to be fake, but it never is fake, is it? And then we have book 2 of Harry Potter. If you've seen before when I mentioned Harry Potter in one of my reading wrap-ups, I have only read book 1 so far, so obviously this is book 2, and it's Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. I really enjoyed the first one. It just reminded me so much of being a kid again, and I don't know, autumn/fall is reminding me of magic. And so we have to have a little fantasy fairy tale sort of list going on. I cannot actually remember what happens in these books at all because I only read the first few when I want to say about 12, if that. So it would be nice to dive back into that world, and I haven't watched the films in a very, very long while. So that'll be so great to continue reading this series. So the next book I have is Priest, and I've been putting this off for a long while because I don't know, I just haven't found the perfect time to read this. But it's like a dark, I want to say, is it dark romance or is it just a slightly darker than a normal? There is a couple of trigger warnings in here, and for me it's the back bit that caught my eye. It says he is a priest and here is his confession. There are many rules a priest can't break. A priest cannot marry. A priest cannot abandon his flock. A priest cannot forsake his God. Tyler Bell has no problem playing by the rules for the past 3 years after a family tragedy set him on a path to priesthood. That all changes when the delicious, sultry voice of Poppy Danforth sinks its claws into him through the screen of his confessional booth, and he can't get her sins out of his head. It should be easy to put his impure thoughts of her to rest, considering the vows Tyler has taken. It should be nothing to overcome what the sound of her does to him, when his life with the church means everything. But once he has his first forbidden taste of those red lips, Tyler can't help but break all the rules for Poppy, no matter what it might cost both of them. So obviously there cannot be anything that he's allowed to do but still does. So this is like a forbidden romance, and I love that sort of stuff. I've not been reading very long, so just over a year, so I'm still trying to find the right books I want to read in full, but this definitely, well, in England it's autumn, so this sounds like the perfect autumn read for me. Just the sound of it just gets me, and I can't wait to hear his confessions and what Poppy does to him, because let's face it, men are weak when it comes to the right woman. And then we have another fantasy, and this is Twin Crowns. I was luckily, and I'm so grateful that TikTok did this, they gifted me the whole Twin Crowns series. So this is book 1, two sisters, one crown. Princess Rose is heir to the throne of Anna, I think that's how you pronounce it. Trained from birth to fear the witches that killed her parents, she will do anything to defend the kingdom. Stolen from the palace at birth, Ren, I can't pronounce his last name, I think it's Grenrock. Don't ask me, I'm shocking at this. Is the secret sister no one knows about. She plots to usurp, I can't even pronounce this, usurp the princess in order to protect the witches of Orpha who raised her. In the battle for the crown arena, where will your allegiances lie? So this is two sisters battling out for the crown, but they're both fighting against each other to do what's right. Which way is right? I mean, it's a bit of a thick one, but we'll soon see. I've been talking to this camera for like half an hour now. My throat is so dry, but obviously you won't get the long edit. I will have to edit most of this out because I have been waffling on. So we now have the next stack, and this is the biggest stack. But next up is a book that I want to finish the series. I soft DNF this book, and this is Good as Dead by Holly Jackson. I loved the first two, like actually adored them. But when I started reading this, I was like, this doesn't seem like Pip. Like, this seems like someone completely different has took the writing, turned it around, and made Pip into something that she's not. So now I think I want to try and finish this series, because I'm not going to lie, it's bugging me that I've not finished it yet. Even though I think I started reading the series last year. Let me check my Goodreads. Yeah, I must have read this last year. Yeah, 2023 I read the first two. So it's now time to wrap up these series, because yes, this is a thick book, but a lot of it seems to be like pages with just notes on it or emails. The chapters don't seem too long, which sort of puts me off sometimes when the chapter is ridiculous. Well, that chapter was ridiculously long. But yeah, if the chapter's ridiculously long, it really does put me off reading a book. But I just want to finish this series so bad. It is really, really bugging me. And then we have The Secret. This book is so tiny. It's a little hardback. You hold in your hands a great secret. And oh, it's got a feather in it. I didn't realise that. Okay. This is fragments of great secrets have been found in the oral traditions and literature, in religions and philosophies throughout the centuries. For the first time in all the pieces of the secret come together, an incredible revelation that will be life transforming for all who experiences it. I actually got this book off Vinted, and I think it was like £1. And these pages aren't like paper, they're like a silky paper. I don't. Oh, there is pages. It's under 200 pages. Someone's left their bookmark in it. Look, which is great. Happy reading. Oh, the book is always better. I totally agree with that. They got 125 pages in. But this is something completely different to me. As above, so below, as within, so without. Okay. So this book is something completely different to me, but I got it. I knew this would be the perfect time to read this. Like, I could read this probably in a few hours, because, to be honest, there's not a lot of text on the pages, and a lot of it is just bullet points too. I don't want to spoil it for myself by actually reading some of these pages. I'm peeling another sticker off. I keep forgetting to take these stickers off all the time. I should really take the stickers off as soon as I buy the books and put them on my shelf. Well, before I put them on my shelf. How annoying is it when you get that sticky residue? Can you see that? Like, it's still so sticky. So this is Sally Thorne, and it is Angelica Frankenstein makes her match. I don't have a clue what this is about, and I'm not going to lie, I don't really want to focus on the back because I really want to go into this blind. She obviously makes her match, so I'm guessing she makes up this figure, like sews body parts and stuff together or whatnot. I have no clue. So I'm guessing that's sort of the plan. She makes her personal match, and we'll see what happens when I eventually, if or when I get round to reading it. So this is also another vintage purchase, and this is Trick or Treat by Katrina Diamond. Apparently it's a Sunday best-selling author, and it says this is what the cover looks like. This is perfect for autumn or fall, wherever you are from. And it says, trick or treat, when 6-year-old Marcus is taken from outside his house on Halloween, it shakes his quiet neighbourhood to the core. Everyone was ready for a night of trick-or-treating. Now the unthinkable has happened. Truth or lies? As Detective Imogen Gray arrived to question Marcus's parents, they tell her there has been a mistake, their son is just fine. But if that's true, where is Marcus? Innocent or guilty? Imogen becomes locked in a race against time to find missing children and uncover the truth. Can she discover what's happened to Marcus before it's too late? So this is like a mystery book, I'm guessing. I have no clue what tropes are, but she also has, The Teacher. I'm pretty sure that was on one of my TBRs the other month. Never got around to reading it because I hardly ever stick to a TBR, but with this I have plenty of choice. And honestly, I cannot wait to get into this. I might have to read this sooner or later. I might do a video actually of reading books from my autumn/fall TBR, and maybe this will be on that list because this sounds so great. Not normally a book that I would read because I've only just started reading Freedom at Fadden, and read the first one a couple of weeks ago actually, and that was one of the few thriller/mystery books that I've actually read. But this one sounds so good. Even with the short synopsis on the back, it sounds like such a great read. We then have the Cinnamon Bookstore. Just look how stunning that is. The autumn trees, a little foiling on the front, and honestly, I cannot wait to read this. So this is between the manager of a bookstore and a fisherman. So is it Hazel hides in a bookshop. She is a very, very wholesome person. She loves to be on her own. And it says, when a secret message turns up hidden in a book in a Cinnamon Bookstore, Hazel can't understand it. As more secret codes appear between the pages, she decides to follow the tail of clues. She just needs someone to help her out. Gorgeous, outgoing fisherman Noah. I mean, fishermen aren't normally gorgeous, but hey ho. Noah is always up for an adventure and a scavenger hunt. Sounds like a lot of fun. Even better that the cute bookseller he's been crushing on for months is the one who wants his help. Hazel didn't go looking for romance, but as the treasure hunt leads her to Noah and around Dream Harbour, their undeniable chemistry might just be as hot as the fresh out of the oven cinnamon buns the bookstore sells. Hence why it's called the Cinnamon Bookstore. And it does have spicy books on the back. This really doesn't like to focus on me, does it? Or on anything. So it's got a spicy book thing on the back. So there is some spicy content in there. Oh, they've got a Christmas one coming out. That is the Christmas Tree Farm. Oh, I will have to... Sorry, my nose is really itching. I got sunburnt while we was camping, and now my skin's peeling. So I will have to pre-order the Christmas one, but this is definitely on my autumn TBR. And then it is no other than Hannah Grace with the next one, and that is Daydream. This is a new release. This is between Henry and Hallie. So Henry, we're not quite sure if he's neurodivergent or not. I think that's the right word. Like, his brain doesn't work how others work. He doesn't learn the same way as others, and he struggles with that. Hallie, I have no clue about her, but I really can't wait to read this. I have read Icebreaker and Wildfire. Absolutely loved Icebreaker. Wildfire was okay, but I've hyped this one up so much in my head that I am so scared to read what happens. I know it is spicy. It says on the back, not suitable for younger readers. It says there is a content warning. Daydream is intended for mature readers only. It contains complex themes and sexual explicit content. So you do have your little warning in there that it's not for young readers. It is for older readers, like 18. I wouldn't say 18 because people change, but I want to say around 16 you know about certain things. If you are not into reading it earlier, that it like before that or after that, then that's fine. Just read what you like. But this is on my TBR, and I cannot wait to read a steamy book. And I also have another new release. I'm so excited for this one as well, and that is Wild Eyes by Elsie Silver. I absolutely loved Wild Love. Was it Wild Love? Yeah, Wild Love. And that was, I can't remember the names. It was between Ford and Weston's sister. I can't remember her name at the top of my head. But this one is a chart-topping country singer with a recent streak of bad press. It's hard for Skylar Stone to find any peace, but she finds it in Rose Hill with a little boy and a little girl who still her heart as thoroughly as their dad, Weston Belmont. So this is obviously between Weston and Skylar. Skylar, like it says, is having trouble, and she's fallen in love with these two kids. Kids are absolutely adorable when they want to be little arseholes and all, let me tell you. But apparently says that this man is a shameless flirt, and he uses confidence and masculinity in a way that's downright distracting, and in bed he's addictive. Everything with him is wild and impulsive, and Skylar is desperate to regain some control. But no one has supported her like West does, and no one has ever made her feel as loved as he does either. So while Skylar's brain says settling down with a small town horse trainer is impossible, her heart says she's right where she belongs. She can see in his eyes that he wants her to stay, and she wants that too, but Skylar knows better than anyone that you don't always get what you want. I hope they have a happy ending. Like, I really, really hope they do, because that would just be so cute. And yes, we always know there is going to be spicy things written in Elsie Silver's writing, because this queen can write spice, and I absolutely love every minute of her other books. I still haven't started, is it the Gold Rush series or something? I haven't read that one, but I have read Chestnut Springs, and obviously this Wild series that I don't even know what this series is called. I'm just going to call it the Wild series, because it's got Wild Eyes, Wild Love, Wild Eyes, and then there's another one coming out maybe next year, I think. So I cannot wait at this one. So the next one is another book that I didn't get around to reading in August because I was too busy reading other things and being in a slight slump. So this is The Serpent and the Wings of Night. This has blew up on TikTok, and that's where I wanted to read it. Like, so many people convinced me, like, this is the book that I need to read this month. But obviously haven't got round to it. So it is now on my autumn/fall TBR. So I have time to spread it over a few months. Have no clue what it's about. Can't wait to read it and want to go into this one blind. And then we have The Ex-Hex. Still no clue what this one's about either. And this one is by Erin Sterling. This one was mentioned on the back of Every Which Way. So the Ex-Hex, you broke my heart, Reese, and we will curse you and your whole stupid hotline. Okay. Vivian Jones handled the biggest breakup of her life, by the way that any witch would. Vodka, bubble bath, and a curse on her ex. Right, that's all I need to know. She cursed her ex, and now I want to know why, and if there is somebody else for her that makes her happy. Like, that's it, I'm done. I want to read this now just from that first couple of lines. But I can't read it now because, well, we have one more book to go, but this is definitely high up on this list. This stack is stacking. And the last book that I want to read is Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren. I since I started watching Book Talk, this has been the one that is constantly recommended. And it says, "The heart may hide but never forgets. Then, at 13, you were my first real friend. At 15, you were my first love. At 18, you were my everything. We were about to take on the world together until one mistake shattered our future. Now I'm about to marry a safe man who will never touch my heart, whose loss would never break me. He doesn't really need me, and that's how I like it." Until one day I turned around in a coffee shop, and there you were. It's been 11 years and nothing has changed. I don't know how to forgive you, and worse, I don't know if I can resist you. What? She's supposed to marry this man, but yet her ex just randomly turns up and she just wants him all over again. So it might have been like right person, wrong time sort of thing. Friends to lovers, or you could say enemies to lovers if they broke up on bad terms. But yeah, this is the last book on my autumn/fall TBR. So that is all the books I want to read between September to mid-November-ish, because I'm not going to lie, I love myself a Christmassy book already. So maybe it's time to turn down the Christmas reads and get into some cozy thrillers, romance, fantasy, and hopefully have a great autumn reading these great books. Thank you for watching, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye.